So we're here to do how to inform your guests of your big day coming up. So the first top tip is the method that you're going to use. So there are a number of methods available to you. The first method would be the more traditional style, which would be to speak to a printer and their graphic design department, and they will design and personalise your invitations for you, along with your RSVP cards and also your save the date cards. Now the bonuses to this are your guests will have a memento for after the day, especially close family friends, and also it will add a real luxurious touch to your special day as well. Now the second method, which is more popular these days, is for the couples to design their own invitations through a website. Now I've linked some websites below for you which are really great, and they've got preset designs as well. It's just a really lovely touch for the more creative couples that would like to, you know, add a bit of their personality and their craftsmanship to their day. Now the benefits of designing your own is they're downloadable PDF documents, or if you want to add your own photos, and you can do a little video if you'd like to. So when you download it, it will enable you can then at that point you can decide whether you want to get them printed or not. Now most couples don't these days. They use social media and email to inform all of their guests. So you would literally take the PDF document and email it to all of your guests. Now the great bonus to that is you've got no postage costs whatsoever, and you've got no printing costs either, and also your guests get the document immediately, and if there are any changes or updates you can just go in and change it and then resend it. So it's there's some really great methods there for you. Also the benefit of using your own website and sending it via electronic methods is you're actually saving on the environment as well. So top tip number 2 is provide your guests with as much information as possible when you send out your invitations. It's going to save you a lot of time answering emails and calls and texts in relation to what questions they may have. Now I've listed below some details that you might want to include in the invitations. Now it's quite an important part of my job, especially with couples that are travelling from the UK or abroad to have their wedding here in Cyprus. Now, just to give you a few tips, I provide all my couples with a guest information pack, which basically has an order of the day on there, where the wedding's going to be held, what time the wedding's going to be held, the closest airport, transfers, car hire, accommodation close to the venue, a bit of information about Cyprus and Paphos. So if you're not just getting married in Cyprus, but if you are getting married abroad, give them all that information. Now I have listed it below for you, but that will really save you a lot of time and a lot of stress by having to respond to all of their queries. Top tip number 3 is get yourself a wedding website. Just reverting back to top tip number 2, it's a really useful system where you can upload all the information and all your guests can join in on the website. They can. You have the option of, your guests posting pictures of you and. Being able to just interact on the website. It's like a little community for your wedding. It's a really lovely thing to do, and also you can put all the information in there that you want them to have, which again saves you on putting it on your invitations and posting it out. And also you don't have to email it, you just update the website and everybody goes on there, and you know, it's really useful. Obviously you'd put on there, you know, your wedding wish list, and you know, you can put your menus on there and they can communicate through your website. It's a really great tool. Now obviously I appreciate some of your guests may not be computer literate or comfortable using a computer, in which case you can communicate through them, you know, through you know, the telephone, or go and see them in person. But that's a really great tip, is have a wedding website, and it's such a lovely thing, and it's so personal. And just a note on that, it's after your wedding, you can ask everyone to upload all their pictures from the day, so you not only have your professional photographs, you also have all of your guest photographs as well. It's a really lovely thing to do. Top tip number 4 is the style you choose for informing your guests. Now, traditionally, again, people have the invitations printed and send them out, but it doesn't really matter what format you're using or what method you're using, but just the style, your chosen style should be a little hint of what the day is going to be like. So whether it's the colour that you've chosen for your bridesmaid dresses, or whether it's you know, like a theme, you know, if you decided on like quite a rustic theme, then the invitations should reflect that. You know, it should be quite a rustic theme, or you know, if you want quite sleek and modern, you know, or you're going for, you know, a white theme, you know, you know, your invitations and your RSVPs should reflect that. They shouldn't be out of sync of the style and the design and obviously the venue, and it should all kind of blend together, you know, like your wedding dresses, the bridesmaid dresses, your flowers. So whilst you probably haven't thought about that yet, because you've just, you know, obviously you know about your venue because you need to put that on your invitation. So you know the style of venue, and you've probably got an idea in your mind of how you would like it to look. But before you send out the invitations, set the style and the theme of the day, and you know, that's, you know, the invitations will reflect that for you. So it just gives everyone a little bit of a hint of what the day's going to be, and it's quite a lovely thing. Okay, my final tip, top tip number 5, is don't assume. Okay, now this is a little bit out there, but I've seen it happen so many times. Now, when you're going to send out all the information, please put a dress code on the information section. Don't assume that people will just naturally, because they're attending a wedding, they will naturally, you know, come dressed. Now, it's down to you as a couple to guide on how, obviously, how you want your day to look. So, you know, if you want it really casual, and, you know, if you're going to have a ceremony on the beach and you know, you want everyone in, you know, casual summer wear, then put that on there. Even if you think people will assume, oh, it's a beach wedding, you know, they're just come casual. Don't assume, because what you will end up having is a varied amount of guests, clothes all very differently, and that's going to reflect on your photographs. So put a dress code in there, and put a clear dress code in there. So if you want it smart and casual, then just put in there jacket with you know, casual trouser. That way they know that you know, you want them to wear a formal jacket, but you know, they can wear a casual trouser. It doesn't have to be a suit. So, but you know, but specifically, just do not assume that your guests will understand what you would like them to wear. I've seen so many mishaps, and you know, that's probably one of my top tips for informing your guests. I really hope you enjoy the videos, and I really hope you're getting some really useful tips for your wedding day. If you appreciate the work that I'm doing, if you could just like, subscribe and follow, that would be brilliant. Now on Sunday, this Sunday coming, I'm going to release top 5 tips for wedding suppliers. So I look forward to seeing you then.